is Corey Poirier here, award-winning professional speaker and international best-selling author. So I've been getting these same common questions about the speaking industry over and over again. As somebody who's been in the trenches now 15 years, after talks, whether it's after I get off the stage or emails or social media questions that I get after the fact, people ask me things like, how can I get paid as a professional speaker? How can I get booked with the right clients? How can I get these high fees that I keep hearing about that speakers get? Or how can I share my message and impact a lot of people? How can I bring my message to a bigger audience? And then one of my favorite questions is from entrepreneurs and business owners who say, you know what, Corey, I'm not as concerned about the speaking fees, but how can I share my message with an audience to grow my business and my brand from the stage? So these are some of the common questions that I get asked regularly. And after 15 years of being in the trenches and getting these questions, and after years of being actually taking the time to interview some of the world's top influential leaders to the tune of about 3,500 now, I finally decided I'm ready to start sharing these answers.
Yeah, kind of like a modern day Napoleon Hill.
Sir Corey Poirier.
Corey Poirier.
Johnny Doom is here. You're actually the only person that I've ever interviewed that's interviewed more people than I have. And in fact, at 3,400, you're going to take a little while for me to catch.
Corey Poirier.
He's either 420 years old or he's worked out how to maximize every second of every day to create a body of work that is hugely impressive.
Corey's just amazing.
I love it because, again, it's very exercise-based, and there's a lot of thinking that it makes you do. And, in terms of, one of the things that I realized was that, I needed a mission statement for my speaking. And though I've been in coaching for many years, I never really thought about mission statements as having that much value. And I found by doing, certainly in the first module, I found that, that was something that was really, really important. And again, the program is very step by step, so it helps you to understand who you are as a speaker, who you're going to speak to, what are you an expert on, and it's excellent in terms of how it helps you to actually put your speech together, the spider model. I'm a visual person, so that was really helpful to me, and able to, be able to actually visually see my speech and the points. So, I really, I got really, there's, much more than that I got out of it, but I really got such tremendous value out of it. And, especially for the cost, it was really worth its weight in gold. So it's a fantastic program.
Because he used a lot of humor, and in fact, he told a joke about every 7 minutes. Another psychologist asked Dad, this was years ago, do you know you tell a lot of jokes? And Dad said, of course I do. He goes, why? And Dad said, well, I bring their attention back, telling a joke. And the psychologist said, right, I timed you. Do you know how often you tell a joke? Dad said, I don't know. And he said, every 7 minutes you tell a joke. And to Dad, it was spontaneous. He didn't plan it in that way. The psychologist said, do you want to know why? And of course he did. And the reason is that's how long there is between commercials on TV. And so people were conditioned in the audience at that time to have a 7-minute attention span. Now with text and Snapchat and all these different things, our attention span is probably way less than 2 minutes. As a speaker, we've got to know that. We've got to change the media. We've got to go from a video to a crowd question to a group activity to a joke, change our place on the stage. We got to do all of that stuff as part of what we do. Voice inflection, tone, how we use our physical selves. Those are all things that we need to refine.
What we want the event planner to see is how you are as a speaker. Are you dynamic? Did you give value? Did you deliver in a very understandable fashion? Did the audience go, wow, what an amazing speaker? Those are the kind of testimonials we want on your speaker sheet.
like when I get some of those emails, just because I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm very, very busy. I'm very thinly spread. And so I'm struggling to even find people that are good, that are solid, as well as topic areas. Like I can only think of so many. I've been with the same association for going on 9 years. That's a lot of presentations that I coordinated and a lot of topics. And so I'm always trying to think of the next fresh thing. Like I'm always looking for interesting things that would grab my attention, right? That I think would be of value, right? So I don't mind those at all. Sometimes I don't have a whole lot of time to deal with those kind of solicitations. I prefer definitely email so that I have it to share with my board members that I involve with some of these decisions.
So going back to the original point, storytelling is how you connect emotionally with your audience. If you can find the right story, a story that universally connects with most people, and you can share it in the right way, and you understand the power of storytelling and how to insert humor if necessary, if you can do all those things well, you have a much better chance of connecting with your audience than if you have a bunch of bullet points on a screen. Another thing you can do as a speaker at an event is make sure when you're giving and delivering your talk, you mentioned that you spoke recently at a certain event, or you spoke recently in a certain city, and try to, subtly include that during your talk, because what it does is unconsciously reminds people in the audience that they hire speakers too, or it reminds them that you're available to be hired for their possible event, even if it's a different event than the one they brought you in for, or in a different area. So that's something to consider as well. And the evaluation forms we talked about, you handing out, that'll be kind of the cream, on the top, because now, because you've subtly put it into your talk that you're available for other gigs by saying, you're not saying you're available, you're actually saying I spoke here, or I spoke there, or I did a talk on this, and during that talk I said such and such. This allows that, allows it to trigger in their mind that you can be hired as a speaker, and then when they get the form, your evaluation form, and it says, do you know of others who could benefit from bringing me in for a similar talk, then all of a sudden now you've triggered it twice. It might even be beneficial, but you have to be delicate about how you do it, to talk to the organizer or the MC or the person introducing you and find a way that they can subtly mention it as well. Corey speaks at various different conferences on this subject and that subject, and clients bring him in on a regular basis, and of course, I'm sure he'd be open to talking to you guys after this event as well, about times when you might be looking at speakers. There's a way you can subtly do it so it doesn't seem like you're selling from the stage, but it reminds them again. So if the organizer says it in a subtle way, if you can find a way to insert it just once or twice during a 45-minute talk, but in a way that it reminds them that you're available for hire, and then they get the evaluation form which triggers it again, now you've really set the stage 3 times for them to consider hiring you without actually coming in and saying you should hire me.
One of the great values that I got out of Corey's program was being not just hearing from Corey himself, but being part of a community. The Q&As, the live discussions that were part of the program were amazing. And one of the things that's very cool about that is that Corey got to know each of us within the program. He got to know our strengths. And as he's out on the road speaking so often, he is just receiving so many requests to speak that he can't fulfill them all. Or he may have become aware of a speaking opportunity, and he was able to match up some of those opportunities and send them my way based on the gifts and the subject matter that I speak on. And so it was just really fun to not just be, it wasn't just a one-way exchange of information where Corey was just sort of doing this knowledge and experience dump on us. It was a real community in which we shared our experiences, and other people shared leads or shared requests for, hey, if anybody is aware of, somebody doing an event on this particular topic. It really became something of a mastermind group where we were all interested in helping each other out.